Just a few seconds until kickoff here between Canada and Brazil. One of the final tune-ups before the Olympics for both games, however, or for both teams. However, they still do have a couple of prep games next month. There is the head coach, Evan McLeod, who has officially resigned or announced his resignation, which will take effect at the end of this year. He says he's been in the job long enough. And here is his lineup, 1 through 11, and it is either a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1, depending how you look at it, but it's very offensive.
Very offensive. It is a 4-5-1. Flexible it is. And the two holding midfielders you'll look for is Shophie Schmidt and Rustad on right and left sides. And Christine Sinclair, who most Canadian soccer fans will know, we'll talk a lot about her as the evening goes on. She'll be playing on the left side, supporting Melissa Tancredi, who is on her own up front.
There's the Brazilian coach, Jorge Barcelos. He's been in charge for a while. He led them into the World Cup in China last year, and we do know that this team, although he's missing a couple of players, it will be a typical Brazilian performance. Lots of movement on the ball.
A lot of movement. They're a very strong side, and as for Canada, there's still some players that will or will not be in the Olympics, so they're playing for positions as well. They'll play typically a 4-4-2 with two strikers up front and lots of movement. Not quite the movement you'd see in the full men's national team for Brazil, but still plenty of movement, and Canada will have to be very careful defensively, watching and marking and doing a lot of communication in the back to deal with this very strong Brazil team.
We're expecting a crowd between 10 and 15,000 this evening, although with a 7 o'clock kickoff, it's fairly early for people in this huge city with all kinds of traffic issues trying to get here on time, so not everybody is here yet, but it has been a gorgeous summer day in Toronto. Low humidity, which we don't see all that often when it gets warm in this city, but it is a very dry air this evening and lots of sunshine, and we are set to go. And there is Melissa Tancredi. You got a shot of her. We'll talk about her a little bit because she's been a late bloomer. She's been in the system for a while, but has only recently found her way into that striker role up front. Has scored 7 goals for Canada, and we'll detail more on her as the game progresses. Right now, Brazil with the ball. Brazil on their way to the Olympics, as is Canada. With the ball is Maicon, number 9. Across to the left back is Pretinha. This Brazilian team has several players who play in Europe with the leagues over there. In fact, a couple of them are not even here because of that, unable to get releases from their sides. Marta and Christiane are probably the two most famous in that category, still with their clubs in Scandinavia. Canada's ball here. Erin McLeod, the number 1 keeper, has taken over that role as far as head coach Evan McLeod is concerned. There's Carl Lang, still attends UCLA, and a free kick coming up here to Canada. Still sorting things out in the box, and here comes the free kick from Candice Chapman. Stepping up forward there to try and do something with it is Martina Franco. And a Brazilian player is down on the pitch. There is Melissa Tancredi, the 27-year-old from Hamilton, as we get another look at the Brazilian player in the pitch. And it looks like it's the captain, Tanya. Shoulder problem, obviously.
Yeah, we expect a very physical game from this, and we talk about it being a friendly and exhibition game, but it's not going to be anything of the such, and good physical start from both sides, and Brazilian Tanya getting the worst of that one.
There's the referee for tonight's game, Michelle Pye. Her assistants are Shauna Poirier and Suzanne Morissette. And the 4th official tonight is Caroline Chenard, as we watch Brazil with a bit of an opportunity there, but it's cleared back to the goalkeeper McLeod, in that case by Shophie Schmidt. Caroline Chenard, the 4th official, was the referee in Vancouver last night in the Vancouver-Toronto Neutralite Canada Cup championship match. So she's had a very busy couple of days.
And did very well in the game as well. And there she is there, and what a spectacular game she had. I mean, we talk about women referees in particular, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. It matters what you do on the field and how you do it. And I thought she managed the game exceptionally well, and that'll put her in good stead down the road in the future to get some full international games at both levels.
Canada trying to work the ball into the box there unsuccessfully. It's headed forward there by Martina Franco. And that time it's Shophie Schmidt. And it will be Canada's ball again. Carl Lang will leave it. She's looking to get the return ball, unable to get free. Brazil come away. Knocked back in by Rianne Wilkinson. Charging hard is Diana Matheson. Loses out in that case. Back with the ball is Esther. Nice move there, although she nearly gave it up to Christine Sinclair, did Renata Costa. Brazil struggling to get out here. However, the ball will be theirs on the foul committed by Tancredi. And there is Tancredi. Made her debut at the age of 22 for the senior team. Now, you know, with the women's game, a lot of these players make their debut as teenagers. Carl Lang was 15. Tancredi didn't appear in the scene until she was 22. But Pellerud says she's found her way as a striker, a big target striker. 7 goals, all fairly recently for Canada. In fact, Tancredi scored 4 in the Olympic qualifying campaign. She was the top scorer in that competition.
Very strong center forward, adapted well. She helps the team very much so in the area of holding the ball up in possession, getting it forward. We'll look for her to do that, to give Canada those opportunities to support as she gets control of the ball.
This is Rosanna, who plays her club football in Austria, getting the ball back in play for Brazil. Matheson working for it there. The dominion of Matheson still causing all kinds of problems for the Brazilian backline. And here comes the keeper, Barbara, to handle it. Brazil's ball here.
Well, we've already seen Diana Matheson get very involved down the right-hand side. Now she's playing a central role, but she's moving around, and expect her energy in all areas of the field in the attacking zone. We talked off the top about Shophie Schmidt and Claire Rustad in those holding midfield positions, and she's already showing good energy. That's Matheson.
That's Shophie Schmidt who lays the ball across, and now it's in front, headed forward by Tancredi. There was nobody else up there. Tancredi a little slow to get up, but she's okay.
See, the trouble with that ball played into Tancredi, as good as she is holding the ball up, you have to play a ball in to be able to give her a chance to. It was too high. There's no support for her. That has to be better.
Well, it was Sinclair nearly getting away, but she goes to ground, and back the other way comes Simone. Now it's Matheson. Brazil through Maicon, 31-year-old veteran. Knocks it forward, but it's cleared back the other way. Doing good work there is Rianne Wilkinson, who used to play much of her career as a forward player, mostly a flanker, an offensive player. She's right back now. She's sort of found her way as a defensive player now for Canada under Evan Pellerud. 61 caps now for Wilkinson. Brazil trying to work it in deep. Cleared there by Wilkinson. Graduate of the University of Tennessee. 62nd cap for her. And will she put the ball in play? Pellerud will leave this position at the end of this calendar year. His contract officially expires at the end of the year, so the Olympics will be his last big competition. What he's going to do after that is anybody's guess, even his own, because he's not sure what he's going to do. We talked about it yesterday, and he says, oh, we'll see what comes up. Who knows? Nothing planned. So there's no secrets there. He has nothing planned. Might stay in Canada, might not.
One thing is for sure, he's a great guy to hang around with, to be with. He's great with the media. He talks to everybody, lets everybody know, and he understands the game so well in the women's game that not everybody's in touch.
There's a cross into the box from Lang, but it's headed away. There's Sinclair, tries a shot from well out, off target.
Great pressure from Canada there, just constantly making themselves difficult to live with. Brazil will be very confident in controlling the ball, but they don't want to be playing around the wrong areas, and that's what they've been caught in a few times. You see Canada working very hard to get the ball at a half opportunity.
Maicon's ball is gobbled up there by Franco. Franco, the transplanted Canadian. She was born and lived part of her youth, most of it actually, in the United States. That play is offside.
Canada's defensive back four doing a good job holding the line, Good defending, letting the Brazilian run into an offside position, and clearly offside by 2 or 3 yards.
And so it's Erin McLeod, who's now 28 years old, from Calgary. Penn State. 46th appearance for McLeod.
It seems like she's been around forever.
There's Matheson. Good work from the Mississauga native and Princeton University. And now it ends up at the feet of Lang. Carl Lang wins possession for Canada. Leaves it for Wilkinson. Wilkinson from Matheson. Back to Wilkinson. That apparently, though, went into touch. Wasted opportunity there, perhaps, for Canada. Brazil unable to really do much here in the early opening moments, in the opening exchanges of this match. It's been mostly Canada through the better part of 10 minutes. Barcelo's team humiliated really by Argentina in qualifying for Beijing. Argentina was the first team to qualify out of South America. China had to get, or pardon me, Brazil had to get there through the back door by beating an African side, Ghana, and became the last team to qualify for the Beijing Olympics out of 12. Franco with the ball forward. Matheson again. For someone so small, she wins her fair share of balls. Wilkinson having a look into the box, but it's a wayward ball. So here's what Canada faces at the Olympics, playing in their group. It's Group E. Don't be confused by that, because the men's Olympic football tournament consists of groups A, B, C, and D. The women's groups are groups E, F, and G. And you touched about the importance of winning that opening game against Argentina, Craig.
Yeah, they are one of the weakest teams, and if not the weakest team in the tournament. New Zealand, we say, are close to them. However, we saw Argentina upset the Brazilians.
Brazil with an opportunity here now, but that's wasted, as back to gobble it up is Wilkinson.
So you can't take the Argentinian team very lightly because of that upset against Brazil. Brazil, not with their full national team at the time, thought they could get through it. However, they found themselves in a position. So if you underestimate anybody at that level, you're going to find yourself in trouble.
That game also took place 18 months ago. They had their Continental Championship, and that doubled as the Olympic qualifier. A lot has changed perhaps since then, but at any rate, that's how Argentina got there, by beating Brazil, and Brazil then had to get there the tough way by beating Ghana, which in the end appeared not to be all that difficult. 5-1 was the score. That match just took place in April, and that rounded out the 12 teams in the women's competition in Beijing. Third there by Franco once again. There's a look at Formiga. The veterans, a mixture of youth and veterans in this team. She's 30, but they also have some players in their early 20s. The goalkeeper, Barbara, is only 20. Free kick here. It will be taken by Formiga. The third foul conceded by Canada so far. Lots of jostling in the box here. There's the free kick. Brazil still in possession. Costa is over there to get it back in play. She will leave it for Rosanna. Four of the players on the pitch for Brazil play in either Europe or Asia. Rosanna threw that ball back in, but plays in Austria. And it'll be Brazil again. And it'll be Rosanna again. Carl Lang making sure. But Brazil trying to apply a little pressure now. Formiga trying to get around Matheson. Nice movement there on the ball by her. That's Esther helping out. And it will still be Brazil's ball. They can't penetrate, but On the other hand, Canada can't get it out either. So Maicon back to Renata Costa. Renata Costa through the middle. Pretinha. To the flank, and Simone. Stepping forward to interrupt that play is Emily Zur. There is Emily Zur, the 20-year-old from Crofton, BC. Her 7th cap. Formerly a center back, but now playing on the left side. Zur has played most of her career with the under-19 and then the under-20 level. It has a few matches sprinkled in with the full senior team as well over the years. Foul there was Maureen, in the opinion of the referee, Michelle Pye.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the Brazilians, what you have to get used to too is that they know how to go to ground just like at our levels, and they do it very well, and they draw fouls that way when there's very little contact, and the Canadian women are going to have to be very careful about that.
Free kick into the box, and that's a dangerous one just off the post. As Erin McLeod seemed a little bit handcuffed, didn't know whether to come for it or not, and in the end didn't. Then it just went wide.
Canada a little fortunate there. Good ball, drifted in. And again, yeah, Erin McLeod, not too sure, but that's the difficulty of the ball. You pull it you want to get it close enough to the goalkeeper that they don't come for it, but also close enough that you can get a good effort on goal. And Brazil is very unfortunate there. Good ball in. Erin McLeod, fortunate.
Should she have come for that one, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it was a good enough ball that I don't think she could have actually made it. She did the right thing, and you just have to hope that your defenders are doing their job.
Meanwhile, Brazil, who have seemed to have found their step in the last few minutes and are getting some calls going their way right now, are pressing the advantage. Just one more look at that play where McLeod stayed back and the ball trickled wide.
And here's another look at the free kick. We were talking about coming for it. You know, it's difficult always to say for goalkeepers whether to come for it or not. And you know, like you say, Jerry, should she or should she not? Well, if you are in doubt, you're better to stay at home. But it's decision making is the hardest part about goalkeeping.
Brazil now in position. It's pushed forward there by Maureen, but again, no harm done. And so all of a sudden, after starting very quietly for the first 10 to 12 minutes, Brazil have suddenly looked like a team that might get something going here. There is Maureen, who plays for Santos FC in Brazil, one of 3 of the starting 11 here who plays for that club. Erica and Esther are the other 2.
You know, as well as we're talking about Erin McLeod in goal, and you know, she was a star at the Under-19 World Cup here in Canada, in Edmonton in the final. She was wonderful in that, and she's really grown into one of the very best goalkeepers in the women's game in the world. We're talking about very 2-goal goalkeepers for Canada. Look at Katrina LeBlanc as well, also up there, but right now Erin McLeod is holding that spot down. But there isn't many goalkeepers in the world that you could have the confidence in as Canada does in Evan Pelleru, the coach, in Erin McLeod.
Falling over the ball there was Claire Ruska. So there's a ball into the corner from Pretinha. And she's on it. She plays her club football in Japan. Her cross, though, is taken by Rustad. Brazil's ball. Claire Rustad of North Vancouver and the University of Washington. This is her 38th appearance for the senior side. 25 years old, and there it is. Back in play. On it is Esther. She plays it to Maicon. Into the middle where Maureen sent it wide. Brazil appearing to be a bit of a handful for Canada right now. Very quick on the ball. It's cleared. That's a long ball for Tancredi, but it will be Brazil again. The momentum has definitely shifted the other way in the last 5 minutes, Craig.
Yeah, well, they're very good at keeping possession, Brazil. They started off a little bit slow, and the energy of Canada caught them off guard a little bit. Didn't cause them any troubles to speak of. And now they're looking to get a hold of the ball and hold the possession of the ball, keep it. and try and wear Canada out over the long run, just to get them to chase shadows, and that's what their game plan is.
Renata Costa. Simone. Diagonal run into the middle. Tried to thread it through to Maureen. Mistimed the ball on that one, and they turn it over. That's Wilkinson. Canada is 3-3 all time against Brazil. 3 wins, 3 losses, and the most recent one, of course, that 7-0 thumping by Brazil at the Pan American Games. Here's Matheson. Tried to find Sinclair, but Sinclair was running towards the middle. Matheson's ball was sent way over to the flank. Goalkeeper Barbara. Wilkinson mistimes a run at the ball. Here's Maureen. It was dodgy there for Canada as Wilkinson mistimed it, and Maureen simply stepped around her.
And Candace Chapman doing a good job clearing the lines, making no mistake.
Cleared there by Claire Rustad. And Brazil come back to reorganize another attack. Renata Costa. Now it's Wilkinson. Bothered there by Maureen, who's showing that she's got lots of jump in her game this evening. There's a ball headed down for Sinclair, who heads it for Matheson. Tancredi is wide open on the other side. Matheson can't get it to her.
Great work rate from Matheson all over the park.
And now here's Sinclair trying to beat the offside. And she wins a throw-in for Canada here. She will leave it, and it'll be Zurer who takes it. Emily Zurer will celebrate her 21st birthday on Saturday, and she'll celebrate with a throw-in here to try and get a goal going for Canada. Not the best throw-in as it's headed away by Brazil. Chapman has it. For Tancredi, but that's offside.
That's too bad for Canada because that was well worked. I think Tancredi just getting a little ahead of herself, very close. Canada finally getting an opportunity to, you can see it right along the line there, and that's a mistake as an offensive player when you're looking right along the back line and you can see where you're at. You're trying not to jump the gun. And unfortunately, she just was too far ahead of it.
Chapman chasing that one down, and it's that pest Maureen who was all over her. Now it's Wilkinson. Nice play there with Matheson, and now Matheson has it, trying to find Tancredi. Out comes Barbara. She's way out of no man's land. Tancredi's ball across the face of goal and cleared by Brazil. Canada's best chance yet, and Tancredi was right in the middle of it.
And if she goes to ground under the keeper's challenge, it would be a penalty as well. She did very well staying on her feet, showing good sportsmanship, but I feel if it's at the other end, I have to say the striker's going to ground, it would be a penalty.
Carl Lang there taking down the defender, and now it is Brazil's ball. But see if we can have another look at this one and see if you folks agree. And anyway, here's the ball.
Well, it was well worked, wasn't it? Between Cara laying it. We see the ball go in the box. It's a good ball. She's always going to get to it first, Tancredi. You see the challenge there, just getting her hands around her, but she stays on her feet. Half opportunity, but boy, she goes to ground. You have to feel that the referee is going to point to the spot. As you can see her just get caught a little bit on the high side.
There was contact there, there's no question, but
yeah, this might be the best look at it here. Yeah, no question about it. But she did well, and that's good sportsmanship, because I like to see that if you trying to get to the goal, try and get that opportunity, and that's typical Canadian fashion.
Meanwhile, Sinclair almost had an opportunity. She couldn't quite chase down the ball. So the tide shifts just a little bit more, this time in Canada's favor. Here is Emily Zurrer again as you look at Tancredi work her way into the box. Matheson is clipped from behind as she tried to feed that ball back to Martina Franco. Bodies flying everywhere here. There's Chapman holding her ground against Maureen. Now it's Wilkinson. That ball by Tancredi, she was claiming it went off a Brazilian player. The assistant did not agree. Ready to put it back in play there is Rosanna. Second ball on the pitch, and while Barbara gets rid of the ball and gets back in her goal as we look at George Barcelo. And now we're back in action here. As you mentioned, Canada will name the Olympic team next week. Pellerud will choose mostly from the squad he has here. There are a couple of players not here that are in the mix, and that's Jodie Ann Robinson and Amber Allen. Amber Allen has been recovering from a leg fracture, but both her and Robinson are available for selection should Pellerud choose to pick them for the team. And he admitted to us yesterday he does have some decisions to make there, not sure which way he will go. Wilkinson, oh, foul committed there by Canada. It will be Brazil now.
Yeah, Wilkinson just coming up underneath her arm and handball given.
Maicon. Ball's chipped in, looking for Pretinha, but McLeod has it. Sinclair couldn't get it. Renata Costa did. Now it's Matheson pouncing on that loose ball for Sinclair, who's knocked down. No call there.
Wow. Well, first Sinclair doesn't get the foul, and then Brazil get one as Rustad comes through, and it looked like a decent tackle for my money. You know, as a Canadian referee, and sometimes I've seen Canadian referees, and they almost want to be the other way because they don't want to look like homers. You can see, have a look at the tackle here as she comes in. Nothing malicious, it's hard to say, but
well, that's the 8th foul committed by Canada to just 1 for Brazil. McLeod making her 46th appearance. Gets it back down the pitch. There's Tancredi. Chapman fighting against Maureen, but Maureen's got it through offside. That seems to be the trend here with Pretinha trying to beat the offside trap. That might happen time and again tonight.
Yeah, that's right. It is a bit of a trend on both sides. And we have a look at this. This was very close. Very close. That could have gone either way. And one of these times, one of the T's too.
Almost an opportunity. In fact, it is an opportunity for Canada as we're just coming back from that one. Wow.
I was going to say, it's going to be a matter of time before somebody times a run well and gets an opportunity at goal as the goalkeeper Barber is now down.
See if we can and figure out what happened to her on this free kick taken by Canada, and quickly it turned into a chance.
Yeah, Wilkinson, long ball forward, flicked on. Canada will use that style from time to time. Get on the end of it, lays it back, and you can't really see if the goalkeeper what's actually really wrong with her. As you can see, the ball goes wide. On the save, that's the only thing I could see would actually happen to her, is possibly falling awkwardly.
Well, she fell on her right side, but she seemed to be grabbing her left side after the fact.
Bit of a mystery. Good little save there. Would have been an own goal, just whether it was on target or not. And then a little contact with the post. That can't be hit.
She's in some sort of discomfort on her lower back. So that's the hold up now with nearly a half hour gone. Ebb and flow to this game. It started with Canada controlling, then Brazil found their legs, had some good opportunities. Canada have come back, and for now it's a fairly even match. And we're giving Barbara time here to recover from whatever the problem was.
She must have fallen awkward on the save.
Well, she definitely went down on her right side, and the problem seems to be in her left, so somehow she stretched it out. I don't know.
Lower back problem. And the referee will give every opportunity for her to get back.
This Brazilian side, a very experienced team in big international competitions. They have been to every Olympic game since the women's football competition began in 1996. And of course, this will be Canada's very first. Brazil have never finished worse than fourth. They've always been to the Final Four at the Olympics. As you get a look at one of their veteran players, there's Formiga. Formiga's 30 years old. She's been part of this program for a number of years, including World Cups and Olympics. Now we're back in action here. There's Barbara getting a touch on the ball right away, having to knock it clear to safety.
There's some sloppy football going on. I mean, by both sides, giving it away really cheaply. And Brazil won't be comfortable at all playing a short goal kick like that. And most of in South America, you're not going to get much pressure. But for Canada, they'll pressurize them all over the park. So they have to get used to that as well. It's much different than they're used to.
That's Zur with the ball across. Now Brazil come back again. Taking a while to get out of their own end. Simone elects to go back into the middle, where Erica has it. To the left side and cleared forward by Tanya. Rustad for Matheson, out of her reach. Game has slowed down now since that injury to Barbara. Here is Formiga. Steps over the ball, nearly fooled herself, recovered, beat Matheson.
Well, Canada's doing a good job of squeezing up the field, really pressurizing Brazil and keeping them penned in and not giving them the space to be able to use their passing technique. So far, that's worked to effect. Getting forward has been a problem for Canada. They've had a few opportunities, but both teams could have had one.
Erica. Sloppy ball by her. It was right at Shophie Schmidt. And there's another bad ball. It results in Christine Sinclair knocking it back to Franco. More sloppy play continues. Brazil with it. There's a ball from Maureen. It was behind her. She didn't see it. Continuing on is Esther into the middle. Brazilians charging forward from all over the park. Keeping it in play is Maicon. Apparently not keeping it in play is Maicon.
Well, Brazil, the team, when they get into those offensive zones and they can smell blood and they can just get into the formation, they feel as though they're going to get an opportunity. They swarm forward in numbers and support.
They were all ready to pounce on that one. It just didn't happen for them. Something Canada will have to be very careful of. Sinclair beaten to that one by Renata Costa. It was quite a collision. Tancredi. Her ball to the far side to Lang. Didn't get to her. That's Rustad coming forward. A collision initiated by Rustad, but she seems to have gotten the worst of it. But she's slow to recover. Meanwhile, Brazil are quick to take advantage. Formiga. Now it's Pretinha. Nice work there. But Canada at the back again. Now it's Erica. Renata Costa. They look for Maureen time and again. Maureen has it. Can she get the cross in? Nope. It's Candace Chapman back there. However, this will be, it looks like a corner kick for Brazil. Maicon is back there. It will not be a corner kick, it's a throw-in. Cara Lang all the way back there, working defensively to clear. Erica regroups for Brazil. Simone. Sinclair gets to the loose ball first. Rustad for a streaking Matheson. Out comes Barbara way out of the box.
Good goalkeeping from Barbara.
Brazilian player down is Simone. Clutching at her ankle, it would appear.
Well, I see where the injury comes from. Just a little tweak there, not an awful lot.
Simone is back up and play will continue. Sinclair. From Matheson, but she was forced out by Esther, and the Brazilian player has taken a nasty one there.
I think it was Esther took it right in the face.
It is Esther, and I think you're right.
And it was a clearance that she caught flush.
And they're calling for help for Esther.
Well, these injuries are really slowing the game down and interrupting the momentum of the game, which has been very good at times. And here's the clearance here, and you watch it, she just clears it straight up. Oh, and that has got to hurt, no question about that one. But she'll be okay, I'm sure.
So Esther down, there's Erica.
And there's a guilty party right there.
Her 20-year-old teammate. Still attending to Esther. After this game, Canada's next action, well, they'll prepare for the Olympics final preparation. They'll fly to Singapore on July 21st. They have 2 preparatory games before the Olympics, one against Singapore and one against New Zealand before the Olympic tournament begins in August. And Esther is back up and waiting for the instructions to come back onto the field of play. Meanwhile, throw in from Zur. Rustad tries to flick it on. Pouncing on that one is Pretinha. Brazil have launched something here. Lozana. Schmidt knocks it down. Beating her to the ball is Formiga. Matheson. Ball for Sinclair, wound up on the head of Renata Costa. Lozana. Now Esther. Simone. Oh, that's a nice ball from Simone into the middle for Esther. And there's a block from Erin McLeod. No offside flag on that one either. Maureen is the dangerous one here. It would be, it is apparent.
It was unlucky on their behalf because it was a good ball through, just a little too much weight on it. We see how this develops, and a good pass through. You see the weight just a little bit too heavy. Erin McLeod spots that. McLeod's out very quickly to her feet, smothers up the danger.
That's Franco knocking that one into touch. And there is Erica. Pardon me, it was Simone who put that one back in play, and it looks as though it will be Simone another time. Both teams claiming the other side knocked that one out. Brazil win the argument. Simone again. Franco. Renata Costa. And Franco again. Both sides turning this ball over with great regularity. Esther. Now to Erica. Chapman knocked it down, but Brazil continue to move forward. Esther for Maureen. Now it's Sinclair for Tancredi. Got a little back heel for Matheson, but it was not well timed.
Well, Evan Pallarud has a few things to say on the touchline, and he's talking to Tancredi, and all I can think that he's saying is to her that she needs to hold the ball up. When the ball's played forward, get a hold of it. Let some support come. Both teams giving the ball away very cheaply.
It's Rosanna. Brazil's ball. Last 5 minutes now of a goalless first half here at BMO Field, Canada and Brazil. On a beautiful warm summer evening, both sides preparing for the Olympic Games. And another one goes into touch. Here's Maicon. Erica. That's for Simone. And into touch it goes again. Neither side able to do much with it when they have it. Zurer now. Matheson now to Sinclair. Matheson gets it back. Sinclair, who's been unable to really find much freedom of movement in this first half to do what she normally does. However, she does win the ball here for Canada.
Yeah, she has to get more involved in the game. She's trying, but they're keeping a close eye on her. They know she's very difficult to deal with, and they want to make sure she doesn't have any time on the ball. And they haven't made her life easy so far in the first 41 minutes.
Candace Chapman, the 25-year-old from Ajax, Ontario. In her 57th game for Canada, will put it in play. Just the second free kick that Canada will take in this first half. Now maybe it will be Cara Lang. She's there as well, and it is Lang. She's going to have a go at goal, but the wall does its job. Lang with his second stage effort into the box. Canada, lots of players up there, but it doesn't bounce their way. And Brazil are back, and is this a clear breakaway? It might be. Matheson's one of the quickest players in the pitch, and she gets back.
Oh, that's fantastic defending from Matheson. We said about her, she's been all over the park, not only in the offensive zone, but she spotted that danger very quickly, and she just got on her bike. Got right back, showed great pace, and cleared the danger. Well done, Matheson.
Danger is not over, however. The ball by Formiga is cleared away. Collision there between Lang and Maicon. Lang leaves it for Zurer. And there is a look at Diana Matheson. What a job that was.
Can she keep it up for 90 minutes? Because she has covered a lot of this pitch.
Rosanna. Oh, and they get messed up there. And that allows Wilkinson to get it forward. Tancredi is there. She's by herself, however, surrounded by Brazilian defenders. Maureen lays it back. Well, and Wilkinson thought she'd made a good tackle there, but the referee disagreed, and Formiga gets the benefit of it.
You get the feeling the Brazilian team, they don't like the physical side of it. They don't come up against too many teams like that. And she's also having a chat there with another teammate about giving her a call and letting her know that there's people around her. Communication.
There's a long-range strike from Renata Costa that very little on it. 10 fouls now for Canada, which is not unexpected. That's the way they play this game. Lang. Lang giving Maureen a bit of a bounce. It'll be a throw into Canada here. Last moment of the first half, plus whatever stoppage time referee Michelle Pye dictates there will be. Ball into the box, cleared, headed by Simone. Erica now tries to find Maureen. She's the target up front, there's no question. Got a handball there.
Yes, it is.
Franco. Well, she'll leave it. McLeod comes up.
Well, as the half comes to an end, look at McLeod. She's going to, for 2 minutes of at a time, she's going to look to drop this one right on the top of the box. Lots of bodies up there for Canada.
We're into that 2 minutes now. Tancredi is behind everybody, but there's no flag. However, it went right to the waiting hands of the keeper, Barbara.
And that's why, as a defending team, you hold the edge of the box, because if the ball does go too far, the goalkeeper can come into that space and collect it. And the danger is then gone.
Chapman with the back pass to McLeod. Headed in by Simone. Formiga. Wayward effort from her. And so McLeod will put it back in play. George Barcelos, who knows what's going on in his head right now. I would think he'd expect goals from his side. That's Franco. Now it's Tancredi. Can't do anything. Matheson has it. Matheson's ball for Tancredi. She can't keep it in play. Maicon with a long ball, but that's offside. Referee takes a look at her watch. Will that offside be just about the last kick of this match? Or in the first half at least.
Yeah, you see where Canada doing a great job holding their line at the top. We talked about the timing of the Brazilians. Have to get much better than that. I'm sure at halftime they'll be telling them to hold the line, hold the halfway if you have to, before the ball is played, to make sure you stay on side. They've been caught offside way too many times, Brazil.
And coming up on our winners halftime will be a Sportsnet connected update, and we'll have highlights, of course, of the first half. And we're nearing that point now. Can't be much left in this 2 minutes of added time. Zurr. And Zurr was creeping down that line just a little too much for the referee's liking. She sends her back. Rustad. And there is the halftime whistle. So chances at both sides. Both sides seem to control play from time to time. Carl Lang unable to get on track in that first half. Neither was her partner Christine Sinclair. There's Erin McLeod, who didn't have a whole lot of work to do. And so after 45 minutes, the scoreline reads Brazil 0 and Canada 0, with our winners halftime report coming up after the break. Substitution for Brazil as we start this second half, as they have made a goalkeeping change. Barbara has come out of this game.
And she was complaining at the end of the half too about the side that she took a bit of a knock in the first half, and that will be probably the reason why she has changed over.
Andrea will be the goalkeeper. There she is right there, number 12, as she comes in, the 30-year-old who plays her club football in Spain. And so we speculated on a switch for Canada in goal, and in fact it is a switch for Brazil. And Brazil a little bit slow coming out as well to get this second half underway, and that's why there's a bit of a delay here. They were just held up in their dressing room for whatever reason. So Erin McLeod will stay in goal for Canada, and the switch takes place for Brazil with Barbara out, and coming in number 12, Andrea. Tancredi and Lang will try to get something going in the second half for Canada. But back to World Cup qualifying for the men, because that's where our focus will be this summer as well. And a tough job for Canada, but not something that's insurmountable, to be sure. And of course the games will be here on Sportsnet.
No, it's exciting times for the Canadian national men's team as well as the women's team. They have a good side. Definitely the best midfield that Canada's ever produced. And they have an opportunity to make the World Cup the first time since 1986. And with 3.5 spots available to them, Canada have an opportunity, and be good luck to them. But they got a tough group, like you said, Jamaica, Honduras, and Mexico. Top two will go through to the final group.
Well, the Canadian women's team know what it's like to be in a World Cup. That's happened before. Of course, they finished 4th in that memorable event in 2002 in the United States. And this will be the first time a Canadian team has competed in the Olympics, the first time for the women, and it'll take place in China next month. And the second half is underway. 0-0, the score between Brazil and Canada. That's Rosanna. Collision there involving Pretinha and Candice Chapman.
You know, some people might be wondering too why they haven't been in the Olympics before now. Well, they haven't qualified obviously, but they haven't been in the Olympic Games women's soccer, until 1996 in Atlanta. So there has been 3 Olympics. 2 of them have been won by the United States. Who, talking to Evan Pellerud, thinks is the strongest side.
He still believes the U.S.
But he also believes Korea can do very well. In fact, he's tipped them to possibly go all the way in this Olympics.
Korea Republic very strong, as you see the free kick by Formiga into the box. Headed clear by Sinclair, who was all the way back there to help out defensively. Formiga again. No, apparently not. She leaves it for Rosanna. That was Shophie Schmidt, but her clearance was not very strong, and it allowed Brazil a rather long shot at goal. And so McLeod taking her time here. Stepping up there was Erica, but she also committed a foul against Schmidt. There's Shophie Schmidt. Schmidt, a 20-year-old from Abbotsford, BC, born in Winnipeg, but lives in Abbotsford. Played at the University of Portland. Her 37th appearance for Canada. And Schmidt on the ball there, trying to keep it in play for Canada deep in. There's Maureen trying to chase that one against Chapman. Maureen has the speed, but Chapman has the positioning. Canada nearly got caught there. Franco is back to help out, but they nearly gave it away. There's Maicon. And it'll be Canada's ball now. Brazil eventually turn it over. Zurer. And that ball goes into touch again. Canada once again will put it back in play. Schmidt maybe a little bit hobbled there. We'll keep an eye on her. And that's Zurer, who's tackled and fouled. Game a little bit slow to get going. See if we can find what happened with Shophie Schmidt here a moment ago.
Well, she got into a swinging it right there. She swings through and might have just caught her ankle a little bit on the follow through in connection with the Brazilian. We'll keep an eye on that.
Schmidt remains in the game, at least for now. Free kick upcoming for Canada. Into the heart of the box, cleared away by Erica. Schmidt with a follow-up, offside. Both teams have been offside on a number of occasions in this match this evening.
Yeah, there have. There's been way too many, and you can see Canada getting caught because Brazil pushing out very well and quickly, leaving 3 or 4 Canadians in an offside position.
And another throw into Canada. Canada's been offside 3 times, Brazil twice. Zurer chases that one down. Room on the left side to move forward. Emily Zurer takes a look. Feeds it through to Tancredi, but her ball goes right to Formiga. Canada, however, recover it. Sinclair trying to get through there. Matheson charging hard. However, that's a good defensive job by Esther to ward off Matheson and allow her teammate to clear it back downfield. Look out, this is Maureen. Who's constant trouble for Canada. Not this time.
Maureen's a good player. She's effective. She works very hard. She's got a good touch and makes some good clever runs as well. She hasn't had much support in that area as far as passing up until now.
There's Maicon. Goes to the far side to Simone. This looks dangerous for Brazil. Simone trying to get by Zurer. And Simone goes down, but gets up quickly. No call there. And it's Franco for Canada. For Tancredi. Tancredi appears to be in some discomfort here after getting fouled. She tried to head that ball back into the middle of the park.
Yeah, it was a high kick. Caught her in the face. By Erica. You see she tries to get in front. She tries to lay it off. And a high kick catches her.
It's Renata Costa who was the culprit there. And so another hold up here in the early moments of the second half. And she is bloodied. And she'll have to come off at least temporarily. So Tancredi out of this match for now. Will Evan Pellerud make a switch? I guess he'll wait and see what the deal is with Tancredi before making that decision.
Well, they're going to have it, get it stopped.
Yeah, she can't go back on for now. We know that much.
And how long will that take? And how bad is it? Is off she goes.
Well, she's heading inside for repairs.
Yeah, and Ian Bridge is looking down the line. There will be a substitution.
Looks like Brittany
will not continue.
Brittany Timko as play is back underway with Canada trying to get an opportunity. 1-0 for Canada. In her 120th appearance, which is a record, she has her 92nd goal, which is also an all-time Canadian record.
Well, in the first half, Brazil did a good job containing Christine Sinclair. Didn't make her life easy. It's a long ball through by McLeod, we saw that in the first half, and it caused some troubles as well. And this time it does the same. And on comes in support was Sinclair. She finally got a half a yard, had some space, took the shot, and took it very well. And that's why she scored 92 goals for the Canadian national team. She knows where the back of the net is. Former NCAA Athlete of the Year. Well done.
So Sinclair, who else? If you were going to bet, you'd bet on that woman getting a goal tonight, and she has it to stake Canada to the 1-0 lead. Sinclair on it again. Tried to find Rustad. Didn't get to her as back came Esther. Brazil will, I would expect, come on stronger than ever at this point. Meanwhile, we talked about Tancredi, gone in for repairs with a nosebleed after taking that boot to the face. Meanwhile, Maureen is in the box, gets it back. That was a strike by Maicon, which was deflected. Canada still can't get it out of trouble, and they still can't clear. Finally, it's just knocked out by Rustad, but the Brazilians pounce on it. Tancredi gone. Canada down a man right now as they're trying to get Brittany Timko onto the pitch as a substitute.
And the problem with Canada right now is that they have no Tancredi up front, and the way the system that they're playing, there's nobody up front. So as the ball gets cleared, it's just going to come straight back. Here it is, straight up, no Tancredi. It's going to come straight back on top of you. Canada got to get that sorted out very quickly.
Tanya with the ball. And they'll keep coming. Canada's got to get it out so they can get that substitution made. Maicon. Good tackle by Matheson. Schmidt for Matheson.
Well, Canada should just play it out of bounds. Make the substitution.
Tanya again with it. Headed by Maureen. Chasing it is Franco. Both players go down there, and finally we get a whistle, and you would expect that the substitution will be made, and it will.
You know, Canada has to learn about the nuances of the game, and yes, there's going to be a substitution, and yes, there was nothing actually happened dangerous to Canada there, but put the ball out of bounds. You're playing short. They should have had that sorted out much sooner before. Could have been costly to Canada.
And so on comes Brittany Timko, a 23-year-old from Coquitlam, BC, who once upon a time was a starter. You could count on it, game in and game out, but she's lost her way just a little bit. She's used mostly as a substitute now. That started to change really towards the end of last year. She had started almost every game exclusively prior to that, but now for the last dozen or so games, she comes on as a substitute and is effective in that role, but it's not what we used to see from Brittany Timko.
Yeah, she's been very effective from that role, coming on as a substitute.
Brazil have also made a substitution. As Fabiana is into the match, replacing Maureen, which is a bit of a surprise because Maureen had been by far the most dangerous player for Brazil. So all of a sudden, a lot has happened here. Tancredi with a nosebleed. Timko replaces her. Sinclair with the game's first goal, her 92nd for Canada, and Brazil's most dangerous player, Maureen, substituted. I didn't expect to see that.
No, I didn't either. And whether they're just trying out different things, different players, different systems, just to see how things will work for them in the long run, that certainly could be true. Managers use this for all sorts of things. If you're going to get your team sorted out in your formation, you better do it just prior to the Olympics. You don't want to go in testing new players out while the Olympic Games start.
Lang couldn't get the ball through. Timko was down the right side, but well covered. Lang appears as though she has taken over the spot that Tancredi vacated, and Timko has moved into where Lang was. Throw in from Zurer. again, the referee didn't like what she saw there from Zur. It gets turned right over, so Brazil will have the opportunity now. It's a one-man band down that right side. Ball into the box, effectively done. McLeod covers it up. Sinclair trying to head that one on to Lang. Lang gets to it. Lets it go, as it will be Canada's ball at any rate. That's Claire Rustad. It will be Zur who takes all the throws, at least from that side. Sinclair volleys it in for Timko. It's offside anyway. The flag is up. It was cleared nicely by Rosanna, but Timko was offside. And there's another foul committed by Brazil against Zur. Free kick to Canada. Across comes Rianne Wilkinson. Two Brazilians, both of them right there. Pretinha and Formiga work together to get it out. Wilkinson in dangerous territory sends it back to McLeod. McLeod just knocks it into touch, and so Simone will put it back in play. Schmidt tried to get it forward to Matheson. He's played a whale of a game for Canada. There's Timko. Sinclair couldn't do much with that ball. Well, Brazil trying to get something going. Can't do it. Matheson. Comes to Lang. Timko down the right flank. She gets by Tanya. Tries to get around Formiga. Unsuccessful. Good work by Brittany Timko. Let's have another look at that goal by Christine Sinclair.
Yeah, it was well worked from Canada. Very typical. They work hard on it. Long ball from McLeod, laid back to Sinclair, who gets a half a yard. And whether Brazil was stuck a little bit after Tancredi had just gone off with the bloody nose, they got caught napping. And well done to Sinclair, who picks up her 92nd goal. She certainly knows how to find the back of the net. She's a strong member of this team for obvious reasons.
Well, she passed a legend in Charmaine Hooper a long time ago now. 21 goals more than Charmaine Hooper. Who would have ever thought that might be possible? But that's where Christine Sinclair is right now.
And she's looking forward to the Olympic Games, and she talked about growing up in Burnaby, British Columbia, and that there was a real lack of role models in women's sport in Canada, and especially in soccer, and she feels that she has to fulfill that role, even though she's not the most outgoing person. But she's been involved with SOS Children's Villages with myself and doing other projects for the Canadian Soccer Association, as well as getting involved in some TV, and she feels that she has a responsibility, and good for her. She's trying her very best to give these young women in Canada the role model that so many of them need, and it's so important to have.
Chasing it is Rosanna. That's into touch, however. Now, Melissa Tancredi, there's the story with her. She took that boot to the face as she was leaning down to try and head the ball. We don't have any idea the extent of the injury, other than we do know she had a nosebleed. And she's obviously looking after that right now, and she's out of this match, substituted by Brittany Timko.
And as far as the formation for Canada goes, it's pretty much stayed the same, except they've moved Cara Lang into that role of Tancredi. Timko is taking Cara Lang's side on the right, and everything else pretty much remains the same.
Well, that's the flexibility that Pellerud has up front. He can put Lang in there. He can also put Christine Sinclair in there. So he's got different options offensively. Sometimes Sinclair will even play where Diana Matheson is playing right now, in behind.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players in this team are quite flexible and playing in different positions, and they've played defense as well as up front for the national team, and that's pretty impressive, and it's good to see. Although you don't see that interchanging of positions while the flow of the game is on as much as you do with the Brazilians, however, but certainly are comfortable in different positions.
Again, it goes into touch. Brittany Timko will put it in play for Canada. Ryan Wilkinson calling for it. Timko gets it to her. Wilkinson for Matheson in the box. Matheson goes to ground a little too elaborately.
I'm not sure if that was an attempt at a dive or not, but if it wasn't very good.
Well, I wouldn't expect her to dive.
No, I wouldn't either. She's such an honest player and works very hard. And she may have got caught up in her own feet, perhaps.
Brazil's ball this time. Brazil have come so close to winning some major competitions. They lost the Olympic final to the United States in Athens. They lost the World Cup final to Germany in 2007 in China. They'll be one of the better teams at the Olympic competition this year, and they're getting set to make another substitution here.
And you don't have to go that far back, Jerry, to see that Brazil have really come a long way very quickly in the women's game. It's the fastest growing part of the game, women's soccer. That's why it's very important for Canada to maintain their momentum with the women's game. We have plenty of players playing. We have the resources in Canada to keep doing very well, but we can't rest on that because the rest of the world have caught up, and some of them have bypassed Canada, and we have to keep up.
Well, Brazil are ranked 4th in the world, Canada 9th.
Now Brazil do have the best player in the world, and she is not here this evening. Marta, World Player of the Year, fantastic World Cup.
Erica sends it across for Renata Costa. Oh, Sinclair collides with her. It was more incidental than anything, but Renata Costa came out the worse for wear. Got up quickly, and you get a feeling Sinclair liked that little exchange. And Brazil will get their substitution made right now with this dead ball. As out of this match will be Rosanna, number 6, and coming into the match, number 17 is Franciel. So that's 3 substitutions for Brazil. The goalkeeper has been substituted, Barbara. Maureen, their best offensive player in the first half. And now out of the game is Rosanna in favor of Franciel. Chapman steps up there to keep it in play for Canada. Wilkinson now. She's challenged. Timko back to Wilkinson. Schmidt. And it'll be Canada still in possession with Shophie Schmidt. And here is the throw-in from Wilkinson. Matheson tried to clip it forward for Lang. Lang has it. Strong work from Cara Lang for Sinclair. Sinclair stopped! Wow. I don't think you'll see Christine Sinclair miss very often from a position like that, as the Brazilian players are complaining that Sinclair was too aggressive against their keeper.
Well, let's give credit to the goalkeeper because she does very well. Remember, she was coming on as a substitute in the second half, so she's not particularly warmed up well. Good touch from Sinclair, but the goalkeeper makes herself very big, comes out, spreads herself, and makes a very good save. And really, there was nothing much from Sinclair there afterwards. The Brazilians complaining about nothing. But you see Cara Lang here with a great ball in. The defender gets beat out. Good touch. And Sinclair's just trying to find the bottom corner, but well worked by the goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper Andrea, who has come in for Barbara. Her first tough action of this match, and she was up to the task. Still 1-0. Sinclair with a great opportunity to get a second. Wilkinson. Matheson tried to head it to Timko, but she headed it into touch. Formiga. Emily Zer mistimed that one. Simone missed it as well. Canada with 5 shots and 1 goal in this match now. Brazil with 3 shots. Erin McLeod has not really had a difficult save to make, I don't think.
No, she hasn't. It came close with the free kick in the first half, but other than that, everything she's done has been very well played. Her distribution's been good. A couple crosses. Through balls have been good. Reading the game has been very good from her standpoint. And Evan Pellerin would be very confident, and is very confident in both his goalkeepers, McLeod and LeBlanc. Oh, good feet.
What a good move that was. It had Shophie Schmidt all tied up. This is Formiga on the far side. Brazil with something going here, perhaps. Unable to get the ball headed towards goal. Formiga, who was the architect of that play, ends up down on the turf inside the box, getting back now. And they've still got the pressure. Fabiana. Very scrambly play, but with Brazil coming out on top. And there's a long-range strike, and McLeod had to be on that. That was from Franciel, another substitute. And it will be a corner kick to Brazil.
Now Brazil coming very close. There's how it starts right there with the good feet, great weight. Good balance, and then finding the space. There's a good end product to that for Brazil, and a good ball in, and then eventually a terrific save. As you can see here, watch how McLeod moves laterally. It's out of her distance, out of the straight dive. She moves her feet and adjusts. Dives straight across the goal and tips it to safety. Might have been going wide, but she doesn't know that for sure. Takes no chances.
Another substitution for Brazil. Coming out of this match will be Pretinha, and coming in is Raquel. Again, this is a friendly, so the 3 substitutes rule does not apply here. This is the 4th one for Brazil. Pretinha out, Raquel in. And here's the corner kick from Brazil after all of that. Matheson clears for Canada. Formiga. He's getting stronger as this match wears on. Chapman smartly lets that one go across the end line. Goal kick now. Formiga has taken over where Maureen left off, although this one's more of a playmaker, whereas Maureen looked like the goal scorer.
Yeah, well, when you got somebody that can play with the ball at her feet like Formiga, that really does open things up for you, and it's a great advantage to have, and she's made a world of difference in that department. Once she gets the ball at her feet and she shows her skills and ability, really puts Brazil on the front foot.
Inside the final 20 minutes now, still 1-0 Canada on a goal by Christine Sinclair. Her all-time leading 92nd goal. Shophie Schmidt moving forward here in anticipation of this free kick to be taken by Rianne Wilkinson.
Canada's looking to make a substitution here shortly as well. Randy Hermes is warming up and now taking her tracksuit off.
There's the ball into the box from Wilkinson. Cleared. Brazil with 2 players forward. That's Franco with good work there to interrupt that play before Brazil could get going. Knocked down the pitch by Esther. Wilkinson knocks it into touch as she's knocked over, and looking for a call from the referee. None forthcoming. Put back in play by Maicon. Timko clears. Lang with position there. Holding up the ball, looking for help, and Lang is fouled. by Tanya.
See, that's good work from Cara Lang, holding the ball up and waiting for support, picking up a foul for your team, gives everybody a respite as Canada has a substitution. Hermes will come on now, but that's the way you sort of have to do it as a front player. And I didn't see a lot of that from Tincredi. I was disappointed from her from that standpoint of holding the ball up. I know she can do much better.
So Martina Franco is now out of this game, and she is substituted by Randy Hermes. Randy Hermes, a veteran of the Canadian program. She's been around a number of years, 29 years old, or coming up 29 later this year. From Langley, BC, Simon Fraser University. Making her 108th appearance, if I've counted up correctly. And she's replacing Franco, pretty much playing her normal position as well as a center back. Shophie Schmidt tied up there. Esther with the ball across. Back it goes to Renata Costa. Matheson. And Brazil trying to get something going. They don't seem to have enough players up front, as chasing that one down was Raquel, but she just simply ran out of space. It will be a throw in to Brazil, however.
Not before the substitution, though. Canada's making another one.
They are indeed. Coming into this match is Janelle Foligno. And Shophie Schmidt comes out of this match. Now, Janelle Foligno is one of the younger players. She's from Mississauga, Ontario. Pellerud wasn't sure if she'd be able to play tonight. She suffered a Charlie horse in training the other day, but she's fit to play, obviously, and back in here with 15 minutes to go. One of the newcomers on the scene, and Pellerud has lots of good things to say about her as well. We'll see how she stacks up against the 4th-ranked country in the world.
Well, what an opportunity. You got 15 minutes, and maybe the difference between you going and not going to Beijing for the Olympics. See if she can make the manager really notice her.
Well, she's just 17 years old as well. Rutgers University.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask from a 17-year-old, but you never know.
Well, she's not completely inexperienced. She's played about 15 times for Canada so far this season, in her career, pardon me. She's been a part of the program this entire year. And Canada's played a number of games this year, 8 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses. She's been around through most of that. What do Brazil have left as a response here in the last 13 and a half minutes? Formiga. Good move there from Fabiana. And this has been a free kick conceded by Canada in the most dangerous spot all evening, I believe. It was Fabiana who went down and won the free kick. 12th foul committed by Canada.
A good aggressive defending from Canada. Going to ground's not the best thing, but lots of bodies in and around her, and really wasn't an awful lot there. More hopeful for the Brazilian to get a set piece free kick, and that's what she got.
Tense moments for Canada now, with a free kick upcoming from a good spot, as another substitution taking place here for Brazil. Coming out is Simone, and coming in, number 16, is Diane. And now the free kick for Brazil. Will it be Formiga? She would be the likely candidate, I would think. And there it is, and it's off the post. It had McLeod well beaten. She was not going to get there.
Oh, she's a bright player. not only is she good with her feet on the ball, but she's good at free kicks as well. She floats this one over the wall. And no, you're right there, Jerry. She wasn't going to get that if that was on target. Little unsighted. Tried to read it over top of the wall. You can't do that as a goalkeeper. You have to just deal with what you see. She took one step to her left, and she nearly got caught going to her right.
Canada dodges a bullet right there. They continue to hold the 1-0 lead. That was Foligno chasing. However, it's cleared into touch. Throw into Canada now. Cleared by Erica. Timko is there to take the throw. Puts it in for Lang. Lang turns and shoots it! Good effort by Lang. A very quick turn and a quick release. Might have caught the keeper, Andrea, off guard there.
Very good turn. Throw-in comes in, holds it up. Quick little turn to her left. Not sure how much pressure she was going to get. It didn't waste any time. Tries to curl one to the top corner, just off target. But Cora Lang looks good up front, by herself, holding it up well, getting a couple opportunities. Evan Pelleru would be pretty impressed with her performance up front after Tancredi's come off with a bloody nose.
That was Foligno there committing the foul, much to the displeasure of the crowd here. Now here's Fabiana. Hermes with the partial clearance. Foligno is over there. Canada's ball. 6 shots for Canada, 5 for Brazil. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Christine Sinclair has the lone goal. 1-0 Canada. Franciel lays it back to Tanya. Brazil taking their time organizing this one. Esther lays it through the middle to Fabiana.
Oh, come on.
That was a 2 steps and then fall routine, wasn't it?
Yeah, they do that a lot, and it's unfortunate. We don't like to see it, but the referee's getting caught up in it, and she's buying it.
That was Raquel that time. He just came on a few moments ago. The result is another free kick to Brazil. Cleared by Matheson. That's Formiga. And again, Formiga somehow finds a way into the middle. Timko whips on it. It's an opportunity. The ball still going off back heel. They score.
Well, they've come close on several occasions, and this all results from a free kick that shouldn't have never been. But however, that doesn't matter. You still have to deal with balls coming into the box. McLeod does well to try and make up the space, close down the gap. Does very well. It's a good ball in, but should be cleared there. Misses it. There you see the mayhem everywhere, and the back heel finds the back of the net. Brazil was, they deserve a goal in this game, I think. Just expect your defenders to do much better than that. That was very sloppy from Canada defensively.
And so, with less than 10 minutes to go, we are locked down in a 1-1 draw. Raquel, who had came on as a substitute in the late going, has found the equalizer for Brazil. Sinclair to Timko, can't control it. Back there is Zur. And this will be a throw in to Brazil. Maicon. Formiga. Back to Tanya. Brazil energized by that equalizing marker. goal kick here for Canada. There is Raquel, who has equalized for Brazil.
With a little back heel.
One of the younger players in their system as well. She's 23. Wasn't much power on the shot. Didn't need much power on the shot. Trickled into an open goal in close quarters. Janelle Filino with the foul.
And one of the biggest things for this Canadian team is self-destruction, making mistakes. We've seen it at the biggest level, the World Cup level. We've seen them do it in the United States, and we've seen them do it at other times as well. And you have to knock those out. If they can take out those individual errors and play consistent over 90 minutes, you got to feel very confident in how far they can go in the Olympic Games. But they have to clean up that mess and make sure that they play for a solid 90 minutes. And it was a substitute, Brittany Timko, coming on, who made a slash at it defensively at the back. And
Foligno looking for Sinclair. And it's cleared for a corner kick. And so the good work by the hard-charging Sinclair has paid off with a corner kick for Canada with just over 5 minutes remaining. Taking it will be Rianne Wilkinson. Crowd coming to life, especially in the South End grandstand. Referee sorting things out before allowing things to proceed. Here we go now. Wilkinson's corner kick. A pretty good one too. Headed right there, punched away by the keeper, Andrea. Wilkinson hurries to try and keep the pressure on. Foligno. 2 defenders against her.
Well, it's a half a chance on the corner, and it's Sinclair who gets the header, and I feel she's got to do a little better than that. Whether she's a little late-sighted as the ball came over top of the Brazilian, but you'd expect her to get a little more on that, cause the goalkeeper a few more problems than she had.
7 shots apiece now. Matheson swings it in, cleared away. Wilkinson now on this side, charging forward. That looked like a handball. No call. Wilkinson knew it. She was right there.
Yeah, so was the assistant. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. Blinders on.
Timko heads it back into the middle. Sinclair now for Timko. And that goes for a goal kick. Timko outmuscled in that case. Tanya, the captain for Brazil. Rustad tries to keep that in the Brazilian end of the park. However, it's back the other way now. Just 2 Brazilians up there, and one of them commits a foul. It'll be Canada. Looks like Fabiana. Last 3 minutes of the match now, plus stoppage time. There's Timko trying to get to that one. She knocks it into the middle, too hard for Sinclair to handle, and so it's cleared by Brazil. There's Esther. 1 Brazilian player up there, and it's Fabiana. Wilkinson trying to fend her off, does so successfully. However, up comes Esther to fill in the gap. She can't get free. Wilkinson for Lang. Little chip from Matheson. Knocked into touch by Maicon.
Canada really trying to step it up a gear, trying to put some pressure on. Both teams do want to win this game.
Here's Lang. The cross goes off the defender, trickles into the box. Foligno
Corner.
wins the corner kick for Canada. A rousing finish to this one. The momentum has built ever since the Canadian goal and subsequently the Brazilian equalizer. Corner kick from Wilkinson from the right side. Yellow card right there from the referee for the nonsense in the box. Not sure which Brazilian player got that one, but it was a Brazilian. I think it was Tanya, the captain. So we're still waiting for this corner kick to take place. There it is. That one went all the way through, but it had Sinclair handcuffed. By the time it got to her, she just couldn't jump on it. It'll be a throw-in for Canada. Less than a minute to go. Canada desperate now to try and get the go-ahead goal here. They don't seem satisfied with the draw. They're pressuring for the win here. Throw in to be taken by Zur. Into the box, cleared by Formiga. And Canada will get to do it again. Candace Chapman under pressure from a hard-charging Fabiana. Fabiana wins possession. Into the middle, just chipped out of the way of Esther. However, Formiga has it. Goes wide to Maicon. We are into stoppage time. 2 minutes added on here, and it falls harmlessly to McLeod. So we're now into the final 2 minutes of this 1-1 draw. Lang couldn't do anything with that, and she's still down. Lang hurt as she went up for the header there. Gets back up. Matheson with a sliding tackle, can't get free. And so back comes Formiga. Shot from well out and well handled by McLeod.
Canada really wants to win this game, but they're also in danger of possibly getting caught on a fast break as well. But they'd love to send everybody home happy. It's been 2 years since they played in Canada. They would love to do that, but you don't want to lose a game at the same time.
41 matches they played outside this country since they last played inside this country. For the record, it was in August of 2006 in St. John's, Newfoundland against China.
And if you think it's a surprise or you wonder why, well, it's a surprise to us as well. Canada should be playing in Canada, both men and women. We talked about it before. If anybody has any frustration over that, want to see more of your Canadian team playing in Canada, phone up the Canadian Soccer Association. They're 100% responsible.
August 22nd, 2006 was the last time. We're on the verge of a 1-1 draw here. Not yet. Will this be the last minute goal for Brazil? Offside. The flag is up. It's Fabiana.
Well, that was a bit of a scare. Looked as though she had possibly beaten it. There's the ball through. Oh, that is close. That is very close. But Canada's favor.
Wilkinson into the middle. Lang heads that forward. Tried to direct it on to Sinclair, but it went right to the keeper, Andrea. Chapman tried to flick it over to Wilkinson. It went into touch. It's Franciel. Return ball for Franciel, who seemed to be limping, but not when the ball's at her feet. There's Renata Costa, and there we have the final whistle. An up-tempo finish to this one, ending in a 1-1 draw, and probably that's the right result.
I think so, and it was a great game in the end. You know, we had a stop-start first half and everything else, but both these teams are headed to the Olympics. We wish Canada the very best. We hope they reach their goals on not only individually, but as a team collectively. Good luck to them. It's great to see them here playing in Canada. It was a terrific effort from them.
Finally, Canada plays a home match after 2 years. It finishes in a 1-1 draw with Brazil. We're back to wrap it up in a moment.